Charlotte and I'm one of the new junior doctors who recently joined the NHS. This past week has been my first week on the wards, so I'm going to be talking you through how I found my first week as a junior doctor. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out my Instagram, as I'm also running a giveaway with Medico Lifestyle, and you'll also find out on my Instagram all my daily updates and what I'm getting up to on a daily basis. So this week was my first full week on the wards as a junior doctor, and I'm currently based with the general surgical team. I'm not actually based at my hospital that I'll be doing my FY1 post at in August. So I'm based at a general district in South London, and it is quite big for the area it covers. So the surgical department are still really busy. We've still got lots of patients. So the week before last, I was doing mainly induction and just helping out here and there in the afternoons. So this week has been really nice to just get involved, get stuck in, and sort of start from 8 AM and go to the afternoon. As last week when I was doing induction, it was sort of here, there and everywhere, and it was very difficult to sort of try and join in halfway through in the afternoon when all the ward round was done. You know, your consultant and reg and everyone wasn't really where you would want them to be, so you know, you can get a handover and things. So there's a lot of a waiting around and that. As this week, where we haven't really had many induction things, we've had the odd thing here and there, but it's mainly been in the afternoon. So at least we've been able to get on the ward round and help with doing the ward round notes and seeing, you know, the plan for all your patients. As it's really useful to know the plan, then you know what needs to be done during the day for that patient. As when you come in sort of at 2 o'clock after lunch, most things have already been done, or things that really I can't do that more of a reg would do, they're sort of done in the afternoon. So having this week to just really get stuck in has been really useful. So Monday was my first day and I went on the ward round for the general surgery team, and I was doing the notes and prepping the notes and writing all the plans up for everything, which was really useful because then I knew exactly what was going on. Surgical ward rounds are really fast paced, so definitely had to type really quickly and sort of get everything down. As well as obviously being new, I wanted to make sure it was all right, so I had to get the F1 that was with us or the reg just to sort of quickly read it over before I clicked and signed it, because as soon as you sign the documents, it's there for life. You can't delete it or anything, even if it's wrong. So you can go back and amend things, so I just wanted to get it all checked, which is definitely something I found throughout the week, is maybe being a bit more nervous about doing things, nervous about, am I doing the right thing, is this going to affect the patient, you know, and I found that sort of a bit tricky to get used to. As a medical student, you really don't have that much responsibility, but now you're a doctor, it's your responsibility, it's your name on the paperwork, it's your name on the drug chart, so you have to triple check everything, I'm feeling. Even with prescriptions, I've been triple checking, which isn't a bad thing, but I did spend about half an hour the other day just prescribing paracetamol and ibuprofen, just because I wanted to make sure there was no allergies, no contraindications. It was IV paracetamol as well, and my patient was under 50 kilograms, so then you have to do it based on their weight. So I just wanted everything checked, and because I'm part of South Thames, they make you do a prescribing exam before you can prescribe unsupervised. Although I've passed the PSA, I still had to do this other written exam at the hospital, and then we got results on Friday, and it wasn't pass or fail, but if you had some areas that you needed to work on, then they just assigned you some script modules, which you may have done in university, so they just want you to revise those. But you do sort of second guess yourself. You do sort of question, oh gosh, have I prescribed that right? You know, and it is now, it's your name on it, a lot more daunting. So that's something that I hope I'll get used to, and all the other F1s have said they was exactly the same when they first started. So just being the newbie is taking its time to get used to. So I've mainly been getting involved in the ward round and doing jobs on the ward, which was a little bit daunting on day one. However, as soon as I got stuck in, it's just best to give it a go and start getting your practice. So any new F1 starting in August, I definitely say from my first week that just getting involved and doing the ward round, doing the notes, doing the jobs, it just boosts your confidence and you end up knowing what you're doing a bit better then. So being friendly with the nurses is always a good idea, I've found. So I've got to know their names, and because I was calling them nurse, and one of them said they didn't like being called nurse after I said, please don't call me doctor anymore, just call me Charlotte, because I don't really like being called doctor. I'm still getting used to the whole doctor thing. So they said, no, we don't like being called nurse either. They was two of the sisters on one of our surgical wards. And so I knew their name, they knew my name. And so just having that sort of slightly more friendly demeanour has made life so much easier. They come and helped me with a cannula the other day, and because I made like a little bit of mess with the cannula, I did change the sheet, and they appreciated that because I helped out, I got stuck in. And that's definitely one thing the nurses appreciate, that you don't dump things on them when you can do it yourself. So I definitely say getting in with the nurses is a good idea, as it just makes life so much easier. So at the moment we have a very strange rota. So all the interim F1s work Monday to Friday. We don't do any weekends, we don't do any on-calls. So I mainly work 8 AM till 4 PM. But on Friday, the SHO was with an interim F1 on the urology team, and then I was an interim F1 with an F1 on the surgical team. So there was only two of us, and I actually ended up staying about an hour late. So I'm going to try and not make that a habit, but unfortunately we had some teaching, and I was also carrying one of the F1 bleeps, which was a whole drama in itself, because it just kept going off, and it went off in teaching, and then I forgot to bleep them back, and then when I did, I got loads of jobs from that. So I didn't want to just dump the other F1 with all these things, so I ended up staying a little bit late, and I did hand over some of them to him, but the ones I could do, I just did. So the main things that I've been doing as a junior doctor this week are doing the ward round, prepping the notes, writing down the plans for everyone, and also doing sort of small little procedures such as putting in cannulas and taking blood. And now I can prescribe, so I've been doing some prescribing as well. So getting back to doing all my procedures and DOPs again is all new because I haven't done it in so long, but I was really pleased that my first cannula and my second cannula I got first time. I did struggle taking some blood the other day, but being on the wards at the moment, a lot of the patients are very elderly and they have very tricky veins, so I wasn't too disheartened, but I'll definitely need some more practice as the weeks go on, which will be good for when I start in August, when I'll be the main F1 on my job. So it's all a learning curve, and it's a bit of a steep learning curve at the moment, and at sometimes it has been a bit overwhelming, and just because there have been so many jobs. But as long as you sort of sit down and assess it and think, what should I, what's my priority, what should I be doing? The regs and consultants have been really good, and they're happy to answer any of our questions. So far it's definitely been a good experience. So overall, I really enjoyed my first week of being a junior doctor, and I hope that gave you some insight into what I've been getting up to. If you do want to see what I get up to on a daily basis, don't forget to check out my Instagram. I'll leave a link below. Also, this week I've teamed up with Medico Lifestyle to do a 500 follower giveaway. So in the giveaway you can win one of their lovely notebooks and the matching mug, which I love them, I want to keep them, and also you can win a Cuterus, which is just so adorable, little pin badge, and a stethoscope pin badge. So if you want the details of how you could win these, then please check out my Instagram and check out my latest post with these in, and it'll have all the details on how you can enter to win. That's it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it and gave you some insight into what I've been getting up to. If you did like it, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!